What's up, everybody? How's it going? Austin Prechtel, prechtelevate Performance, coming at you live. Happy Monday, everybody. How's it going? Hope you're having a good day so far. As you guys can see from the title today, it is my birthday today. Still working, still putting in that work. But today, guys, I wanted to take a moment and just kind of talk about and reflect a little bit on something that I think a lot of you guys would benefit from hearing about. And talk about how the number one thing that I've learned over this past year, and I think it's something that we should all apply to our lives and apply to where we go going forward in the future. And so, as you guys are tuning in, let me know how your day is going. Yeah, like I said, I hope your weekend was good. But we'll jump into things here in just a second. Tell me how your day is going. Watch this later time. As usual, hashtag replay, so that way I know that you caught this live, even at a later time. But, guys, yeah, so today, I turned 28. Kind of cool. It's not a super special birthday. But this last year, though, for me, has been a very special year. Honestly, it's been a transformative year in a lot of ways. I would say the last year and a half, it's been a pretty transformative period in my life, where a lot of shit has changed. A lot of shit has changed. New career path, new, just new living in a new place for a while, going through a pandemic, all that crazy shit. And yeah, and I want to talk about one thing that I've noticed and one thing that I think, because I was thinking about this, doing some like self reflection in terms of like what I felt like, was the biggest thing that I've learned over this last year. What has been my biggest takeaway? Because I always ask you guys whenever you're watching this, if you leave a comment or whatever, like what's your biggest takeaway from the lives? Like, what have you learned from this? Like, what did you get from this? What was the thing that you were able to take from this and apply to your life? And so I kind of did that to myself this morning. I was thinking about it. What was my like biggest takeaway? What was the number one thing that I feel like I had the most positive return on, or had the biggest impact on my life. And I think for like hands down, guys, and I think that we should all apply this to ourselves and apply this to our lives. Especially with our fitness journeys, especially with our workouts, especially with life in general, is the concept of um, you know, doing what makes you happy, right? Just because you have applied a lot of time or a lot of effort, or you put a lot of time, or you put a lot of emotion, you put a lot of like basically time towards something, does not mean that you have to stay doing that thing, right? Just because you spent a lot of time being who you were and being the person that you've grown accustomed to be, for the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years, maybe your entire life, right? Does not mean that you have to stay with that old identity, right? You don't have to stay the same, is what I'm trying to get at here. You don't have to be who you were last year. You don't have to be who you were for the last 5 to 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Maybe you're like, who knows? Maybe you're around my age. Maybe you're like 30 or 40 or 50 or 60, 70 plus, right? Maybe you're older, maybe you're younger. Maybe you're just getting things figured out right now. You're in your early 20s. You just graduated high school, or maybe you're in college or something like that right now. Just know you don't have to stay the same just because that's how it's been. And I think that there's a lot of parallels here, right, between your fitness journeys, between your nutrition journeys, between a weight loss journey or something along those lines. Like, just because that you have always, been a certain way, or it's been that way for a long time now, does not mean that you can't change, guys. Like, and why I'm saying this is because over the last year, like I'm 28 now, I was technically 26 whenever I started my business. I dedicated like 6 years to college, to grad school, to a career path that I thought that I wanted to do, that I thought that I was passionate about. I put myself in an assload of debt to do it. I put myself, I did a lot of jobs and worked in a lot of places and moved all over the fucking country pursuing this thing that I thought that was going to make me happy, or that was what I wanted at that time. But lo and behold, it was not what I was passionate about, guys. It turns out that that was not what was making me happy. That wasn't what I was, destined to do, or what I wanted to do, or what was, in the cards for me, because um, but I felt like it was. I felt like I had to do it. I felt like I had to like pursue this career path because I'd spent so much time doing it, because I'd spent so much time identifying myself with that area of work. Um, but it didn't make me happy. It didn't make me happy at that time or in that way. I wasn't passionate about it like I thought I was, and so I had the option. I could have stayed doing the same shit that I was always doing, that I put all this time and effort into, um, or I could do and take a chance on myself and bet on myself and do something that I thought would actually make me happy. And that was this whole, concept of being an entrepreneur, this concept of pursuing this fitness and nutrition coaching business that I'm doing right now. And, hey Courtney, how's it going? 28, oh little baby. Yeah, I'm a youngin. I guess I'm a youngin. I'm not. I guess I'm not quite 30 yet. I don't know. I feel like I'm still. I feel like I'm 21. Honestly, it's pretty like great, and I love my life. I'm happy. I feel healthy. I feel like I'm at the happiest and like honestly the healthiest like mentally that I've ever been in my life, and it's because I'm doing shit that I like. It's because I'm doing what I enjoy. It's because I'm pursuing something that gives me a sense of fulfillment and like success and positivity that I didn't have in the past. And if I would, and if in this main takeaway from the most important thing that I've learned is you don't have to stay stuck, guys. You don't have to stay stuck doing the same shit that you've always been doing, whether that's being unhealthy or not pursuing a fitness journey or not pursuing you know like going and taking the job that you've been scared to do, but you now realize like like I'm not getting any younger, like, and I'm not happy with what I'm doing right now. Like, you don't have to, guys, you don't have to keep doing the same shit that you've always been doing. You don't have to. You can take chances. You can take risks. You only get one fucking life. You only get one fucking life. So you got to do what makes you happy with that life. And like, it's crazy to me because it's like I would have never imagined in a million years that I would be doing what I'm doing right now. Like, like even just like 2 years ago, this none of this was ever like in my head, like it was something I wanted to do, but I saw an opportunity and I thought about it and I was like, that could be something cool that I would enjoy. And I didn't want to let the what ifs consume me. I didn't want there to be what ifs, like what if you would have never have tried it, or what if you would have never have gone all in. And you guys could apply the same stuff to your fitness and nutrition journeys too. Like, what if I would have never have like tried working out, or what if I would have. You're gonna live a life of what ifs. You're gonna live a life of not knowing. Like, I'm not okay with that, and I didn't want that to be my life, and I didn't want my life to be doing the same shit that I was miserable doing. And so, like, self growth, like this last year for me has been such a huge awakening in a sense of like self growth and a sense of authenticity. And it's like life's too short to not be yourself and to not like pursue the things that give you joy and give you happiness, because like shit, like especially if you're living like in like a first world country like America or Canada or things like that, like you have the capability of doing all that shit that you want to do. It's just a matter of going out there and working for it. Like, we have those opportunities to do that and to pursue the things that make us happy. A lot other places don't. You don't have that privilege, I guess, in a sense, to be able to do those things. Like, if you have internet access, if you have like if you have the ability to like write and read and things like that, like you're ahead of you know 90% of the world. Like guys, like life is too short to not go after the things that you want to do, and life is too short too to just like stay stuck doing the same shit because you've put time into it. Whether it's a relationship, whether it is like your health or where you're at right now, whether it's a job or a career path. Like, I spent the last I spent the last 6 years, not these past 6 years, but before I started this, I spent 6 years pursuing fisheries and aquatic science and environmental science and invasive species ecology. Like, I spent over 6 years doing that, investing time, creating relationships, creating infrastructure for this career path of mine. But then it didn't make me happy. It didn't make me happy. And then I decided to go a complete 180 and go the opposite direction, even though it was scary, even though it was like, like, do the things that scare you. Do the things that scare you and bet on yourself if it's something that you actually want in life, because it's going to be fucking worth it. You're going to be able to work 20 times harder at it and feel good about doing it because it's something that you actually care about. It's something that you actually love. That's what I've done. Like, with my life is like I went from being a fish nerd, a fish head scientist, that worked in a lab, worked in fields, and caught like animals and stuff, to now like to and not to like toot my own horn or anything like that, but creating this like culture and this community and this movement, and and it's prospering like crazy because I love it, because I'm passionate about it, because I love helping. I love hearing how I'm changing people's lives. I love seeing people learn these skills for themselves, and then their kids learning these skills. Like that brings me joy. That brings me happiness. That brings me like this sense of fulfillment that I never got before. And I'm gonna keep doing that, and I'm gonna keep living my life by that concept. You know, Ideally, yeah, it'd be fucking cool if I was still, if I still love doing this in like 10, 20 years. But if there comes a point in my life in the future where I start to feel like I want to pursue other things, or like something's not serving me, I'm gonna fucking go after it and do it, because like this last year has taught me that I am fucking capable of doing whatever I want and whatever makes me happy, and that I should follow that and use that as a compass. And you guys should do that too. Like if you think that you want to like pursue a fitness journey and lose weight or get healthy, no matter what your age is, no matter what your background is, no matter what you've gone through, or invested time in, whether it be a positive or a negative thing, like you guys have to realize that you are capable of great change no matter what. Like you are. And that's what this last year has been for me, is just like being in that growth mindset, being in that abundance mindset of like, I'm fucking capable of whatever I want to do, and as long as I'm being my authentic self, like I'm gonna live a happy fucking life. Like that's all that matters, right? And so yeah, so if you guys take anything away from this, is just know that it's never too late to pursue something that makes you happy. It's never too late to change your career choices. It's never too late to start a fitness journey or a health journey. It's never too late to work on yourself, right? It's never too late to work on yourself. Um, yeah, hang with 20, hang with 21-year-olds, you'll feel 28. Yeah, yeah, no, for sure. That's fair. That's kind of what happened to me on Saturday, honestly. But hey, whatever, we're good. Feel good today. But yeah, guys, like life is too short to not do the thing. It just is. And like I have never been happy. Like, yeah, I still have like life happens sometimes. Like life is still full of like like chaos and negative stuff happening sometimes. Like that's just part of life. But in the grand scheme of things, I am such a happier fucking person than I used to be in my day to day, in my life, in my like career, in the impact that I get to have on my clients and on people who aren't even my clients. Like I have people message me every week that are just like like, you helped me change my life. Like I lost this much weight, or my family and I are eating healthier now because of what I saw in your posts and in your lives and things like that. And that feels really fucking good, right? Like that feels really fucking cool to be able to make an impact like that, and just to be able to give and give and give and give, as much as possible, and to be rewarded with that, rewarded for that in terms of like creating positive relationships and making an impact and hearing about that from other people. Like that's the coolest fucking thing on the planet, man. And I'm super grateful for what I get to do, and for like the people that I've gotten to know, and the relationships that I'm starting to form, and the infrastructure that I'm building. And if I'm able to, like if I'm able to turn something from like nothing, like an idea that I was thinking about while I was driving across country in my car, while I was listening to like podcasts and going through this, just like what am I going to do with my life kind of moment. If I can take a little idea like that and turn it into like a six-figure business in within a year, what like anything is fucking possible. Anything is fucking possible. It was hard as fuck, right? It was hard as fuck, but like it was the time and the effort and the consistency, guys, that of and wanting it for yourself enough, and willing to bet on yourself enough, and not be paralyzed by the fear of like what could happen if I fail. Like not having that fear of failure. Like be there, like just taking it with open arms, and just being like, yeah, like I'm gonna pursue this thing, and it's gonna be it's either gonna work out or it won't, but at least I tried, and then I can know that I tried and gave it my best shot and can feel good about that shit. Like don't let life slip away. Like don't let life slip away. I'm already 28, and in the blink of an eye I'm gonna be 45 probably, and then in another blink of an eye I'm gonna be 60. So and I want to make the most of those years. I want to make the most of my time and like pursue what makes me happy. And just know that it's never too late, no matter where you're at in your life, in a relationship, in a career path, your health, like to turn that shit around. Like you guys are all more than capable enough to like turn that shit around. It's just a matter of like wanting it for yourself, right? It's just a matter of wanting it bad enough and believing in yourself, right? And so maybe, maybe you don't believe in yourself right now, but, stick around, keep listening to coming to my lives, reading my posts and things like that. And, maybe one day something will click. Maybe one day, you'll be filled with enough of that belief or that inspiration or that motivation to actually take a chance on yourself. Because I encourage you guys to do it. Like, none of this would be here. None of this, like, if I wouldn't have taken that chance on myself, none of any of the stuff that I've created and none of these relationships that I have with my like awesome clients or any of like anybody I know on social media, none of that would exist. Like none of it would exist if I wouldn't have taken that step. So I encourage you guys, like, take that step if it's something that you actually want to fucking do, because life is too short. Yeah. So that's my life for today. Hope you guys got some value from this. Hope that this maybe inspired you a little bit. But like I just want you guys to know, like, you can do anything that you want to do. You can. You're capable of it. It's just a matter of putting in that work and being consistent and having the desire. And it's within reach. It's crazy because it's a lot fucking closer than you think it is. But it's just taking that action, right? It's just taking that first step. That's the scariest part. That's the hardest part. It's like jumping off that diving board. It's like once you've done it, it's like you're not that far from the water, but it just takes that little bit of a push to get yourself to actually do it. And once you do, you can really get you can do. People underestimate what they overestimate what they can do in a day or do in a week, but they highly underestimate what you can accomplish in a year, guys. Like, you could do so much in a year for yourself if it regardless of what that is. So I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you for watching. And yeah, guys, it's been an amazing fucking year. I'm super fucking grateful for all the everybody that I've gotten to know over the last year. I'm super grateful for everything that's come to fruition from the hard work and the dedication of everybody, and like just seeing everybody like grow along with me, and seeing everybody, seeing the lives that are being changed, and even like even my clients that I worked with like a year ago, like just seeing them now, a year later, seeing where they're at in their own lives and seeing how things have, just improved for them and their own goals. Like, that's just like the coolest thing too, because it's not just the people that I'm working with currently, it's also the people that I've worked with in the past that I'm now seeing, like, them just getting better and better at honing their craft and their fitness and nutrition journey. It's just the coolest thing. It's the coolest thing. So other than that, guys, that's all I really had for you. I appreciate you guys for listening to me blab a little bit. Thank you so much for watching. It's been a good day so far. It was a good weekend. And other than that, yeah, don't ever give up on your dreams, and don't stick to things that don't serve you if you want to pursue something else. That's all I got for you guys. Happy Monday, and I will talk to you all later. Peace.